April 22nd, 2018, a deadly shooting happened at a Waffle House in Nashville, Tennessee. 29-year-old Travis Reinking killed 4 people. He wounded 2 others. The incident ended when James Shaw, a patron of the restaurant, neutralized Travis, wrestling the gun away. This ended and stopped short Reinking's murder spree.
So, I just got back from Starbucks, I had run up in my truck because I wanted to test my truck out, I found what was making the rattling noise inside of the wheel, and I took off the hubcap earlier, and there's this metal piece in there that protects the axle bolt or something, so it had jiggled off or something, supposedly. So I took a wrench, and I beat it back on there so it was tight again. And I put the hubcap, and I got a Starbucks thing, and I come back to the apartment here, and then that's the thing is these people just magically show up, and it's an art of deception, they're doing this for some reason, because it hasn't been the first time. So for some reason, my cousin Chris just happens to show up here while I'm outside, the odd chance that I'm outside just when he decides to pull up, I'm looking at my truck. I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do to my truck, in the future. I want to black some stuff out, to see him. And so it's like, well, that's weird, that this guy just happens to show up here, and he said he had been out boating with some people someplace or something like that. So I don't know how he would have known that I went there, or anything like that. But anyway, that's coincidence. I'll just write that off as coincidence. So anyway, I started talking to Chris, and he asked me how it's going and everything like that, and I said, it's going all right, there's just some strange things that have been happening, and then I talked to him about my truck and everything, and he asked questions about the truck, and I talked to him about, his life and how is it going, and how it feels to be out in the Marines and everything like that. But then, when I started talking to him about, what had been going on, about this internet stuff, and how my parents, had me taken to a mental institution for looking for Taylor Swift. Because a long time ago, I had read some stuff on the internet, and it made me think that she was uptown. So I was like, I'll just go look uptown and see if she's up there, And I asked my mom to go with me, because I was like, I don't want to be bored just, playing this game, So I'll have someone go with me, and they can help me, find this person. And so I asked my mom to go. Next thing I know, we're out front of CVS, and the police are pulling up. This guy comes out from ERS, the police pull up, and I'm being arrested and everything, and so I tell Chris about that whole story, and then he doesn't ask a single question. Notice in my bathroom that the toilet seat is up. The toilet seat is up on my toilet. And so, I have, really, really high, spatial awareness. I took a test at the community college in my area, and I can either find it if I have the results here still, or I can go to the community college and get the results, because I took a test there, a placement test, and I scored 99 percentile, on this test that they had for spatial awareness, and they said it was the second highest testing that they'd ever seen for that at that school, when 18,000 people go there. I know for a fact that this toilet seat was down. I know for a fact that the toilet seat was down. I never put my toilet seat up because I don't like it messing up my toilet. If you stand up and you piss into your toilet, water splashes and the stuff goes everywhere, it makes a mess. So I always leave the seat down. I always sit down to pee or do anything. I never lift my toilet seat up. And yet this is what's happened. And then before, I have come in here and the door will be cracked like that. It's not all the way shut. It's not all the way open. I always leave it all the way open, or I leave it all the way shut. I never leave it cracked open. I never do that. And I know for a fact, that I didn't leave it that way. So somebody has been coming in here. And then, like I said to my dad the other day, there was fingerprints on the sides of my laptop. There's fingerprints on the sides. I never open the lid that way. When I open the lid of my laptop, I always grab it here and open it, And then if I carry it, I carry it like this, you know, from the bottom. My fingers are never like that. I always carry it like this. But somebody did, because there's fingerprints, 4 fingerprints across the top of the lid like that. Then I open up, so that's suspicious, you know. I think that's suspicious that I see these fingerprints on there. Then I open the lid of my computer. You know, I type in my passwords and everything because it's password protected. No one can be on this. This is my password stuff. I type in my passwords and everything. And that's the thing, is like, I keep long passwords that no one can crack, you know, that I know of. And then I keep them in a file here. So someone would have had to gone to the file, got my passwords, then got my computer, got on my computer, and then I see that there's been files that have been manipulated on my computer. One of the file names had been shortened probably by accident. They probably highlighted some of it and then deleted some of it because there was like half of it was there now. And I didn't do.
Just 2 months leading up to the incident involving the 4 victims, there was an incident at an Alcoa motel. February 22nd, he was questioned but not charged for the incident at Alcoa Inn when he barged into a woman's room that night who had been occupying the room. Her name was Samantha Veals, and she was putting her children to bed that night when abruptly she heard a person screaming outside her door. Travis was just outside.
Hotel and tried to hit me, acted like he was going to put his hands on me.
Where's he at now?
He's down there with the man that owns this place.
Down towards
They're
the
walking
office,
toward the office.
237. Hey man, what's going on?
How's it going?
Good.
I don't know, I'm trying to get a refund.
Okay, we just got a call that you just went in somebody else's room.
No, I didn't go in anyone's room.
Alright, you got your ID on you?
Yeah.
The reason I'm here is we just got a call from, I think it's room 125, that you went into the room without being invited in, basically.
No, I didn't ever go in the room.
Okay, were you banging on the door or anything like that?
No, I was walking by trying to figure out who's knocking on my window. Someone's knocking on my window outside of the building. They come outside on the railing, right out front of the door. You know, there's no one needs to be standing right in front of my door.
Okay.
And they'll be talking loud at night. They'll knock on the windows and then walk off, and I don't know who it is.
Okay.
And they do this just to harass somebody, and it's several nights in a row, and I got sick of it, so I went out. I'm walking up and down the porch, and I'm making noise, you know, because I don't like it. I don't like shit like that. I want other people to understand how I feel.
Okay.
You know, when people are just being loud and noisy for no fucking reason, this lady then comes walking up, and she's like, "What are you doing?" Blah, blah, blah. You know, sticking her nose in the business, like, if you just got here, I mean, apparently you have nothing to do with it, but now she wants to police people, and it's just like, what are you doing? You know, just leave me alone.
Okay.
Now she wants to stop something, you know, instigate something with me, and it's just like, I'm not even talking to you. I'm not even looking to you.
Where'd that happen?
Down, I don't know, over by her room.
Okay, and she came out on you? Were you like knocking on the window?
From her car or something.
Okay.
And we're off.
So she approached you?
Yes.
Okay. What'd she look like?
215, what's your call, you on?
Middle age. I don't really know.
Dark hair, blonde hair?
We're over here, Crystal.
Dark hair.
Let's contact with the vehicle here, Scratch.
I didn't really pay attention.
Okay.
Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, or if you received the vaccine or plan to. If you have inflammatory bowel disease, tell your doctor if symptoms develop.
Do you drive a truck for a living? Yeah, commercial?
Well, I do construction cranes.
Oh, you do?
Cranes, that's why I'm actually out here. I live in Nashville.
And live in Nashville? Okay. Do you have a Tennessee DL?
Not yet.
How long have you lived in Nashville?
3 or 4 weeks.
Okay, so you just moved. So you're down here working?
Yeah.
Where are you working?
It's for Dendo.
Oh, you're doing some of that new construction?
Yeah.
Okay. What exactly did she say to you when she approached? You said she was getting out of her car and going into the room?
Yeah.
Okay, what exactly did she say to you? Here's your deal back, but
I don't know. She was like, "What are you doing?" or something. Because I was out there making noise. I'm sick of this shit. And I was like, I don't know what I really don't even know what I said.
okay. Let me see what my partner says. He's with her, and we'll see if we can get this cleared up. Are you planning on going to a different hotel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got like 4 hours of sleep last night because people just stay up and I can make noise all night. And of course, that's when you start trying to go to bed, and it's just stupid.
How long are you gonna be down here working? Do you know?
Well, I think tomorrow is when they're moving the crane out.
Okay. Alright, let me right here and grab my phone. I'll be right back. See you. Alright, man. Like I said, that's the report I'm going on, that you went in somebody's room. You're saying one thing, she's saying something different, so it's he said, she said at this point. I'd recommend just, if you're going to try to get out of here, find you another place, all right? So, all right, man.
Okay.
With an issued public warning and a manhunt and reward offered, it was 34 hours after his shooting spree that the culprit was caught. This was after a construction worker reported seeing the shooter go into a wooded area near the Waffle House. Travis claimed his victims.
Davidson County, Tennessee, Division 6, State of Tennessee versus Travis J. Reinking. Case number 2019-A-55. Punishment of imprisonment for life without possibility of parole or imprisonment for life. Counts 1 and 13, Joe Rene Perez Jr. We, the jury, unanimously find the state has proven the following listed statutory aggravating circumstances beyond a reasonable doubt. Defendant knowingly created a risk of death of 2 or more persons other than the victims murdered during the acts of murder. Defendant committed mass murder, which is defined as the murder of 3 or more persons, rather committed during a single criminal episode or at different times within a 48-month period. Therefore, we, the jury, unanimously agree that the defendant shall be sentenced to imprisonment for life without possibility of parole. Punishment of imprisonment for life without possibility of parole or imprisonment for life. Counts 2 and 14, Taurean Sanderlin. We, the jury, unanimously find the state has proven the following listed statutory aggravating circumstances beyond a reasonable doubt. Defendant knowingly created a great risk of death of 2 or more persons other than the victim's murder during the acts of murder. And defendant committed mass murder, which is defined as the murder of 3 or more persons, whether committing during a single criminal episode or at different times within 48-month period. Therefore, we, the jury, unanimously agree that the defendant shall be sentenced to imprisonment for life without possibility of parole. Punishment for imprisonment for life without possibility of parole or imprisonment for life. Counts 3 and 15, Akilah Dasilva. We, the jury, unanimously find the state has proven the following listed statutory aggravating circumstances beyond a reasonable doubt. The defendant knowingly created a great risk of death of 2 or more persons other than the victim's murder during the acts of murder. The defendant committed mass murder, which is defined as the murder of 3 or more persons, whether committed during a single criminal episode or at different times within a 48-month period. Therefore, we, the jury, unanimously agree that the defendant shall be sentenced to imprisonment for life without possibility of parole. Punishment of imprisonment for life without possibility of parole or imprisonment for life. Counts 4 and 16, DeEbony Groves. We, the jury, unanimously find the state has proven the following listed statutory aggravated circumstances beyond a reasonable doubt. The defendant knowingly created a great risk of 2 or more persons other than the victim's murder during the acts of murder. And defendant committed mass murder, which is defined as the murder of 3 or more persons, whether committed during a single criminal episode or at different times within a 48-month period. Therefore, we, the jury, unanimously agree that the defendant shall be sentenced to imprisonment for life without possibility of parole.